cleaner. Now that is a tool that I've always wanted and I never had, and now that I got it, I can't believe I lived all these years without it. Okay, so that's my number one, is that ultrasonic cleaner. So you guys start telling me what's your best or favorite tool in your garage or shop you have right now, or the one you wish you could have. All right. But other than that, it's been a crazy week. It's I thought August would be a little bit more relaxed, but it hasn't been relaxed. But I'm hoping the second half of August is going to be more relaxed, because September the 1st is when groundbreaking is supposed to happen for the new shop. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so do we have anybody chiming in yet?
Yep. Dave says, big air compressor.
Okay. Maybe next week we'll do what is the tools I should get for the new shop. But I did make a score. I got me a new toolbox on its way. It's a Kubota brand toolbox, and man, it's nice. But it's gonna be going in the new shop, so I'm gonna hold off on getting it. But it's mine. So nothing else. All right. Wait a minute. But like I said, that's the best or favorite tool in your garage. But we haven't had a lot of time for me to work in the garage. I haven't done much on old Bamalam here. Oh, we got the new t-shirts. They should be scrolling across the screen. Them t-shirts. It's Black Betty Bamalam with a t-shirt, a picture of her, like a, what would you call it? It's not the actual picture. It's like a
cartoon of it.
A cartoon of it, or a 3D of it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But Pressy designed those. And Pressy gets all the credit for all that, for the design of the new t-shirts. And there's some really rocking stuff. She's got the touch. She has got that internal flame. Her juices are flowing, and she's making great designs. All right, so I got mine. Ultrasonic cleaner. Uncle Dave's got his air compressor, the big air compressor. What's the next thing for your favorite tool in your shop?
As I says, my lift.
Lift. Okay, we're doing great. 3. A lift. Yeah, that's on my have-to list. I'm just at 57. I'm tired of getting up and down off my back, working underneath. I would love to get it up to here or up to here, and just be able to go underneath it and do it without having to get up and down, up and down, up and down. It's getting hard on the old body for all that crawling. Even with a creeper, still getting hard. Oh, have you guys seen those new ones on TikTok? The new like the garden kneel down pads. They got 2 handles on them, and they're about this tall. And they got a pad that's about 4 inches off the ground, right? But you can flip them over and use them as a chair. I might have to get me one of those. Because the guy that was demonstrating it was older than I am, and he was just like down whoop, and up, without no problems, But it's been a really busy week. Been a lot going on. What?
Don't you need to say hi to people?
Oh, hi. Yeah, I need hi. Oh, yeah, I do. I need to say hi. I don't know if they're watching, but I'm going to say hi to Tristan and to John Henry and to Mr. Wyatt. Mr. Wyatt. Yep. All 3 of my grandkids. I got to make sure and remember to say hi to everybody. Christina being the grandma, she has to remind me of this stuff. I'm tired. I was up early today, ran all day, and it ain't done yet. But like I said, what we're talking about, best or favorite tool that you have in your shop, or best tool I could buy for the new shop, or new shop. Boy, my penmanship sucks. You can tell I went to Salsa High School.
You can't forget the Mustang going in the new shop.
No, I'm not forgetting it. And Miss Presti made up a banging design for a t-shirt for that too.
And Presley says that they are here. They're here. They're watching.
Yep. Good. Hi, guys. Papa loves you. See you in the morning. Whew.
Ken says engine saddles.
What?
Engine saddles.
Engine saddle. Okay. You mean a cradle to reel them around on? Call that a dolly. We call it apostrophes, dollies, because once I get the shop up, I got a honey hole I gotta start pulling small blocks out of. Hopefully some big block parts too, lots of them. I'm gonna need a whole corner of the building just for engines. Or start building shelves, welding up shelves, strong enough to hold them.
He says yes. Presley said yes. That's what he's talking about.
Yep. Well, I'm not just talking about just the big stuff, guys. I'm talking about even the little stuff. Like, you know, there's some tools like my timing light. I wouldn't live without my timing light, or my torque wrench, you know, or my welder, or things like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be the big stuff. I mean, yeah, the big stuff is cool and everything, but man, there's some tools that if I didn't have, I couldn't do what I don't do. That's like even just, you know, my creeper and things like that.
Michael says air conditioning so you don't get hot.
You damn right. And we're going to insulate that sucker too.
Transmission stands.
Ooh, that's a good one. Transmission stand or lift. Since we're going to have a lift.
You got lift on 3.
I know, but transmission stand or lift. Transmission lift. They make them where you put the transmission on. They got jacks on them, kind of like the tripod. They got jacks on them, and you can get it up there and you can wriggle it around, where you're not on your back trying to lift like this.
Oh.
Like the old days when we were young. And we didn't worry about beating up our bodies.
Brandon says it's hot in East Tennessee.
Yeah, it's hot here in Oklahoma too. August is definitely here. I'm waiting for. That's why I'm hoping to have it in the dry by middle of October. That way, it's not so damn hot when I'm insulated and starting running electric and stuff. I'm kind of happy that my concrete guy went on vacation for a month. To be in the middle of that thing right now. Boy, I would hate to be in the middle of a hot box right now. But that's a good one. I wouldn't even think about that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Don't have to get the toolbox. I got toolbox part covered. But air conditioning, yeah, that's air conditioning. Yeah, that's a big one. You know, having had a heat stroke in the past, I don't do hot no more. And I'm going to buy the air conditioners during this winter, whenever they're on sale.
Brandon says I graduated in Durant College in Durant, Oklahoma. That's in
Durant and then OU. Is that OU?
No.
No, that's Norman.
No, Durant. Yeah, OU's in Norman.
Well, is Durant OSU?
No. Stillwater is OSU.
Stillwater is OSU. Okay, what college is in? Oh, is it high school in Durant? Okay.
No.
College. What college is in Durant?
I
know I went to OSU Tech in Omogi.
David says he has 6 different size vices and use all of them.
6 different size what?
Vices.
Vices? Oh, that's you. Oh, yeah.
And to answer your question about Durant, it's Southeast Oklahoma State University.
Okay. Yeah, I did OSU Tech in Okmulgee in '86 and '87. Yeah, that was a cool campus. Okay, how many does this show we have live right now?
13.
Huh?
13.
Okay. Okay, I got a viewer that actually sent me a question. He said he's busy and he ain't gonna be able to see the live today, but he had a question. Okay, and it was an interesting one, so I printed it out. And he said his name is Ballaric, and he says I was screwing around. I'm running a fresh new 350 build. Found that when I tried to remove the oil cap while it was running, there was so much vacuum inside the engine he couldn't get the oil cap off. Turns it off, vacuum goes away, twists right off. But there's so much vacuum inside the crankcase that he can't pull the oil filler neck off of it when it's running. And that one kind of threw me, because the only time I've seen one do that is when back in the 90s and 2000s when we were drag racing, everybody was going to the junkyards and getting vacuum pumps off of Cadillacs and Lincoln Continentals and stuff like that, and hooking them up in the crankcase to make positive vacuum, you know, on the outside through a motor. But I've never heard of just a naturally aspirated engine pulling that much vacuum on the inside of the motor that he couldn't get the filler cap off. So I've never had that happen. Okay, it's a new one on me. So I'm asking you guys out there this question: what do you think the answer is? Because he's dumbfounded, and I'm kind of dumbfounded, and I don't know what the answer to him is. Why would it be like it's supposed to be a fresh build, but it's pulling so much vacuum inside the crankcase that he can't get the breather cap off when it's running. But when it shuts it off, it, you know, negates. And so what do you guys think it is? Just to help out another brother. But I've never had one have that much crankcase vacuum like that without having an actual outside vacuum pump source on it, which he said he does not have an outside vacuum pump source on it. So it's doing it naturally on its own. So what do you guys think that would be?
Is the cam too big?
Didn't tell me about the cam at all. Didn't tell me what size the cam it is. But it's a fresh build. It's a 350 fresh build, so I'm pretty sure if he's hot rodding, he's put a cam in it. But he didn't tell me what size. Or it never even come up in our conversation. We went back and forth a couple times. But I've never had that happen. Like I said, without some kind of outside source of pulling vacuum through the crankcase.
Clogged?
Clogged what?
I don't know. It just says clogged.
Clogged what? I mean, like I said, this is stuff he's going to watch this later, and he's going to, you know, he's going to use what we tell him to see if he can figure out what it is. So, are we talking about what's clogged? Oil passages, things like that. I don't know what, you know. He didn't say whether or not he put a new PCV valve on it or not, or anything like that, and how he had it wired. But I mean, I've never had one do like that before. What?
Somebody says, gotta have a shop dog. Need a puppy?
No, don't need a puppy. But that's the one thing that my dogs will be happy about. Like the fence is right on this side of the door. So when I come in and out of the door, they're sitting right there inside the fence, right inside the door. Which with the new shop, they'll be inside the fence, and you guys are actually going to get to meet the dogs. So yeah, we're going to have shop dogs.
Oh, flex head ratchets.
Flex. Ooh, that's a good one too. I don't have any of those. All right.
Could the piston rings be the problem? It definitely needs a PCV valve for sure.
Well, he says it's a fresh build and it's tight. So I don't know. Like I said, it's a new one on me. That's a new one. Having so much vacuum in the crankcase that you can't pull the breather cap off. I don't know. Or the oil filter cap off. Yeah, I'm kind of stumped on that one. I don't have a clue on that one. But no. Yeah, I don't have any of those. I need to give me one of those. I think they sell those at Harbor Freight. Icon.
Some good LED shop lights.
Lights, yeah, good lighting. Yeah, I'm already going down the rabbit hole on that.
I thought it was more the insulation.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, guys, I don't know if you guys I know you guys are from up north. When it comes to insulation, if you're not spray foaming insulation in, which is really expensive, I'm going to be putting closed foam cell blocks in, sheets in between the runners. Everything I watch seems to be from up north. Okay, and everybody says leave an air gap, between the steel and the actual insulation, unless you're spray foaming it. If you're going to do the closed cell sheets like plywood, she's laughing. There's something good coming across. But I don't know if it's necessary here in the South to leave that air gap. They say it's because of condensation and everything, and letting the water drain out and let everything stay dry on the outside of the wall. But I'm not going to be really heating it. I'm more worried about cooling it. Now, I don't know if it's necessary to leave that air gap in the insulation. What are you laughing at?
Scantlin says stripper pole.
Stripper pole.
Not.
You gonna work it, honey?
No. And then Presley and them says tool organizers.
Yeah, I know. I have my top box of my toolbox is it's a big mountain of sockets, and whenever it doesn't do nothing but make Kenny mad when he comes in and work in this shop and he has to look for a certain size because I don't have it organized at all. Which okay, all right. Tool organizers. And a lot of that is because I'm literally out of space. I mean, like I said, the toolbox I got is 3 times the amount of toolbox that I have my old Craftsman, 2-tiered, small box, small bottom box, small top box, flip top. I mean, I'm going to be stepping up, and yeah, we're going to get organizers. You can get them pretty cheap.
So I got one that says, it says, hey, Uncle Buck, I'm planning on pulling my 350 SBC and a 350 transmission out. Should I take the grill or front clip off my 78 Chevy step side?
Don't have to. It'll come out without it. If you have, I have a load stabilizer, with the crank on it. You can move it up and down for the pick point. I mean, it's easier with the front clip off of it. I mean, really honestly, besides the electrical wiring, it's about 6 bolts, and you can pull the whole thing with the front frame bolts and the 6 bolts behind each door, and you can pull one off. But it's not necessary. There's enough room in this engine compartment. You can do it all in one piece. You got to pull the hood off, but you can do it with a cherry picker, one shot.
Dave says if he's running a PCV valve with a full manifold vacuum, the opposite valve cover has to be vented to allow air
to come in and air to go out.
In current case, it's pulled out through the PVC valve.
Okay. That's a good, that makes sense. Yeah, because, like on Bamalam here, I got the breather cap letting air in on the driver's side, then I have the PCV valve on the passenger side, bringing it back into the manifold. That makes sense.
What kind of toolbox do you have?
I got a deal. I had a buddy need to sell one. It's a 4 foot. It's a 4 foot wide, 12 drawer, 4 foot tall Kubota brand, and it's from. He works at Kubota in Fort Smith, and he had a guy with him a couple bucks, and he gave him the toolbox for what he owed, and then he hollered at me because he knew I was going to build the shop, and he said, I went and looked at it yesterday, something like that.
Day before yesterday.
Day before yesterday, I went and looked at it. It's like brand new, but the guy has 4 of them. He has 4. He has 4 of them like that. He had an extra.
Some good shelves to put parts on.
Shelving. Yep, that's good.
The other one is strip bolt extractors. Those sockets sure have saved my butt a few times.
Oh, bolt extractors. Okay, that's a good one to talk about, because I've had the cheapies, and I've had I bought a set. I think Kenny bought a set for me from O'Reilly's, and I'm not too impressed. What is a good brand, or one that you beat the hell out of? It ain't snap no pieces and everything. It seems to work. What's the brand that you have that works when it comes to bolt extractors?
Brandon says, I love my turbo socket extractors set.
Turbo socket extractor sets.
Extraction set.
Extraction sets. Is that the brand Turbo? Or what's the actual brand? Because I've had a couple of different sets and all of them been junk. It just really doesn't work well. I've ended up always had to drill it out and retap things because I just can't get them out. But I mean, you're dealing with a bolt that's been in there for 50 years too, or 60 years, some of them. Just whatever I would like to know.
Yes, Turbo is the name.
Turbo is the brand. Okay, bolt extractors. I'm gonna look them up. The brand, and see if I can. Are they pricey, or are they pretty reasonable? Or
made in the USA, and he said he'll find the link.
Perfect. I appreciate that very much. Oh, while we're sitting here talking, remember, smash that like button, hit that button, that big thumbs up. You know, that helps out. It get pushed out to everybody else. And like I said, we got the new T-shirts on, the Bamalam T-shirts. There's going to be a second Bamalam T-shirt come out. It says, "Damn thing gone wild." Bamalam on the bottom of it. It's really Presley's really doing a great job with the designs. And think about supporting the channel. Buy a T-shirt, buy a hat, do what you know, buy something, or send a gift or do something, because every little bit helps. Because life is expensive these days.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, the wheel dolly jack from Harbor Freight are way too handy for all sorts of stuff.
I got a set on the Mustang right now. I got them from Harbor Freight. Yeah, they're great.
And then gentleman says that he has Craftsman and Snap-on.
Can't go wrong with Snap-on. I mean, I had a Snap-on socket for 35 years. I finally broke it using a cheater pipe on it. Shouldn't have done that. Should have used my old Walmart one that's still working. But now I got the new 3/8 drive Icon, not the one with the rubber grip, but just the metal one, and I kind of like it. For a really good feeling. The handle feels good, and the action is good and nice and tight. I really like that ratchet.
Maybe a 2-stage compressor for air.
Yep, compressor, air comm.
No, that's the air conditioner.
Oh,
air compressor is number 2.
Air compressor right there. 2-stage? Yep, 2-stage. Which now both of my air compressors, I got one sitting there and I got one sitting there. And when you're running the blast cabinet, it's loud as hell in here. So in the new shop, it's going to have a 10-foot lean-to that's 40 foot long. It's going outside, so I don't have to listen to it all day long. We're getting a new one for the new shop. Yes, we are. She's
Mm.
looking at me like, "Oh, really?" Oh yeah, there's that. There's that look. There's that. Oh yeah, talk shit.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, I'm gonna show you something, and the new shop is having an effect on me because I know that I gotta like clean up my act and everything. I did actually buy a set of these. I got the metric and the standard. Okay, so this is not even close to the amount of sockets I have in the top of that box. But I mean, I am attempting to come into the new era. Okay, I'm trying, to get away from my old habits.
Let's see. Presley says a mobile work table.
Mobile work table, yeah. I mean, the one that I'm using, Kenny built. And I'm sure he's gonna want it back sooner or later. I'm gonna have to get one of them, but I'm thinking stainless. But I like the one. I mean, having somebody else come in your shop and having ideas. Some of them are pretty damn good. Like he built this the work table with wheels and tires on it and stuff, and be able to move that around and use it. It's been out. That's one of those things that I should have been doing years ago that I just never even thought of. But sometimes people come up with great ideas.
Yeah. As long as she gets a new dishwasher, right?
No, she don't need a new dishwasher because I'm not using it anymore. Because I'm using an ultrasonic cleaner now. But it's still, that one's still not quite big enough for valve covers yet. So I'm hoping to get a bigger version of that one, another version of that one for in the big shop.
And Scanlon says, "Oh, don't forget the parking spot for the wife's new car."
It's moving. Yep. After I get running and driving and bam and everything, what?
New car.
Oh, no new car. Her car ain't moved all week.
Yes, it has.
Okay, it moved once this week. Okay. So yeah, no, that thing's gonna last forever until it hits 200,000 miles. She ain't getting a new one, which means that at this rate, it'll never hit 200,000 miles. And I can see the wheels turning in her head right now. She's thinking, "Ooh, I just gotta hit 200. Oh, let's see. Let's do some road trips. Let's go. Let's call the cousins up and do some trips and stuff like that." Yeah.
Let's see here. Do you have any good size fire extinguishers or fire blankets? The fire blankets are really cheap, but the welding blankets could do in a pinch.
I have fire extinguishers. I got one there, and I got one here on this side. And I'll probably buy another new one for the new shop, or two. But I got with welding, and I tried to not have any kind of flammable like gasolines or things like that in the shop while I'm welding. I try to put them all outside so it's vented. But no, I got fire extinguishers already in the shop. I welded too many years to not have a fire extinguisher around.
Battery charger gets a lot of use.
Got one. Yep.
The ATD mobile work table is awesome. He loves his, Brandon.
Now, do you use it for car parts or for ATVs? Now, that's the one that's you can drive it up on. It's hydraulic, right? Or is it air? Or is it a pump?
And Ken says he was talking about a service cart.
Yeah, they sell those at Harbor Freight right now for like $119. A service cart, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about.
Okay. All right, I like that. Service cart, that'll work. Let's see. I'm just looking around, just thinking shelving, cleaner, air compressor, car lift, engine dollies, air conditioning, transmission stand or lift, another vise for there on a bench instead of on its own pedestal. Ooh, drill press. Yep.
Brandon says a 327 or a 350. Any advantages or disadvantages?
327's got a little shorter stroke, if I'm remembering right, the cubic inches. So it's going to be more peppy, rappier. So lighter car, 4-speed, 5-speed, standard. You know, nice little intake, exhaust. You know, be a lot of fun. You get a little bit more cubic inches from 350 from the stroke on the crankshaft. So that's a little bit more torque. You know, can handle a little bit heavier car. So if you're in a lighter car with a 4-speed or a 5-speed, 327 is going to be a lot of fun.
Attic fan to help pull all the hot air out of the shop when you first walk in.
Not an attic fan, actually. Because I'm gonna have it completely insulated all the way around, top and bottom. I'm gonna get some of them. I'm going down the rabbit hole for some big, like, ceiling fans to move air. And
a multimeter is a must-have.
Yep, got one. Hydraulic press. I don't have the hydraulic press. I've always had to run up to David's house or some other friend's house to be able to press, you know, bushings and bearings and stuff out. Yep.
What's the best resource for finding a custom-ish size radiator for a project? I'm looking to add auxiliary radiator to my truck and having trouble sourcing sizes.
I would go to a local shop for that. Nothing online, because it's kind of like buying shoes online. I never buy shoes online because I don't know if they're going to fit. Have a custom shop make your dimensions, know exactly what your parameters are, and have a local shop build you something custom, or find you something that they can retro custom for you. But just going online and trying to find something through Jake's or Summit or whoever, Be Cool, whatever it is. No, it's like buying shoes over the internet. I just never do it. I always go into the store and try them on.
Christopher says some kind of fan to create a negative pressure to exhaust the shop.
Yep.
Mike Roberts says my shop floor is Eponics coated. It has saved me a lot of cleanup time.
Send me a link or put me a message in the thing about the brand you use, and if it was hard to do, if it was pricey or not. Because I'm thinking about doing a sealer coating of some kind before we start bringing anything in. Once the floor is done and the shop is up, I'm not going to put anything in that shop until I have the electric pulled, insulation done, and the floor sealed, so that I don't have to start moving all kinds of stuff around. That's one thing that caught me about all the videos I've been watching for the last week, is that guys were coming in after the fact, and they had shops that were just to the ceiling full of junk that they had to move everything out to get things done. I'm going to do this. It's going to be open until I get the things done I want to get done, and then we'll start bringing stuff in.
Okay.
Which will be in the spring.
Brandon has a set screw, and you manually adjust it up and down. They make more expensive versions.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we're talking about a motorcycle lift. 4-wheeler motorcycle lift. Oh, those are. Yeah, it's like anything else. You can go Harbor Freight or you can go Cadillac. You can spend money on anything these days.
Set up an inch mount on your device and mount it to your table to have accessories for 4 different sizes of your tables and lean, and then you can put the vent device anywhere you want it. Okay,
that's not. I get that. I understand. I understand where you're coming from. That's not a bad idea. Not at all.
A good headlamp and light to help you under the hood.
Yeah, I got those.
Ken says lathe. I guess that's what it is.
Lathe?
Lathe.
Latch.
Oh. Okay, latch.
Or lathe, whatever. I never took machining.
A good comfortable shop reclining chair. A good one for long naps.
That'll be in the office with Miss Presley and the new computer system.
Let's see here. Dave says a shop fridge is a must.
They'll be in the office with Miss Presley. Yep.
Let's see here. Thanks for the response. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Explain was the floor was in when I bought the house. I assume it was a DIY job, yet it's aged well.
Okay. I appreciate your thought, though. Yeah, because I was going to definitely seal the floor.
What about waste oil burner for those Oklahoma winds?
Well, I'm just going off of this building, okay, and I have little small space heaters, and you put a pair of, instead of wearing shorts and a t-shirt, you put a pair of pants on and put a hoodie on, and you're pretty comfortable in here. And this is 30 by 20, so if I'm going 30 by 40, a couple more small place heaters should be okay. I don't see where I'm going to have it tight enough where whatever the heat's in it's going to stay in it, and the cold in it's going to stay in it. So it ain't going to take a lot to heat or cool it. So I'm probably not going to be doing oil burner. I mean, that's just with all the chemicals and gasoline, everything. I don't want to burn nothing down.
Kenneth says no. Brake
lathe.
Yes.
Well, unless there's some company like Benpack that wants to send us one for free. That's a big ticket item for just turning brake pads. I mean, not brake pads, but I mean, turning spindles and stuff. That's a big expense. Those things they're not cheap at all. I know over time they probably make their money back, but right now I'm not spending the dime for that.
Well, it's a wish list,
Yeah, it's a wish list. Okay. All right. So we'll go 16. Brake lathe. Whatever.
Okay.
Brake lathe machine.
Okay.
Penmanship.
A hydraulic porta power is one heck of a handy tool to have around.
They bought me a Harbor Freight gift card for Christmas, and that's the one thing I said I wanted to get was a porta power for like popping dents and stuff out of doors and fenders and stuff. And I still got the card. I mean, I'm waiting to spend that money until I got the shop open, but it is on the wish list. Porta power. Yeah, 16. Port power. There we go. All right. It's on the Christmas list.
Agree on a shop fridge. That's a must. Nothing better than ice cold Pepsi in the garage with music on.
Pepsi, huh? I can think of some ice cold after a long day. Some a little bit better ice cold. What time is it?
22.
Oh, okay. But anybody else got any questions? Remember, if you're just joining, smash that like button. And well, I guess we could talk about. Okay, the video I just put out was, choices for intake manifolds. Well, the one I got coming Saturday is choices for carburetor size. And I'm hoping you guys will check that one out on Sunday. I don't know what happened Sunday, but I had uploaded the video and everything was correct. And we were doing a family thing around noon on Sunday, and I come in about 3 o'clock and it was replaying an old video. And I had to scramble and put the correct one back. I had to delete the old one and put the new one back up and everything. It was a big deal. I don't know what the heck happened, but I mean, I guess a technical glitch or whatever. I'm hoping that doesn't happen this Sunday.
Let's see here. Mike says, just got one of everything at Harbor Freight. Haha.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
And Ken says the flex head ratchets.
Yeah.
943 here, Brandon says.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's that old adage of better to have is to better to have it and not need it, but need it and not have it. Okay, so I mean, like, it's the same thing with like a lot of the tools, like the table. You know, I didn't know what I was missing until I had it, and how much helpful it is. You know, it's the same thing with the different types of ratchets and things like that, impacts, all the different tools. That, you know, there are some specialty ones out there that could make your life so much easier. That I just never had the need to get, you know, until you don't know what you're missing until you figure it out that you're missing it.
Any thoughts on a hooker exhaust?
Hooker headers?
Hooker exhaust, manifold headers instead of a short headers. Think about them because of less clearance issues and spark plug changing easier. Well,
okay. All the headers when you walk in from the beginning, like even like these some of the ones I have here, and like the trick flow ones that I had before on the last truck. I mean, their technology these days is pretty good. I mean, the access to them. Hooker is just another brand, just like Hedman, just like Dynamax, just like all of them. It's just a matter of how big you want the tubes to be, and that dictates of what the design has to be to make it fit in the chassis you're putting it in. You know, the bigger the tubes, the harder it is for them to route. You know, none of them are bad. None of them are bad. But back in the 80s, Hedman and all the name brand guys, they were really chintzy on the metal. Their flanges were really thin and they bent. You could watch them bend as you were putting them on. I mean, it was kind of comical to think about now, because like even these Summit headers right here, the flanges are twice as thick as the old 80s Hedman, which at the time Hedman was like the brand, you know. It's just, you know, just things have come on, you know, technology has made everything better. Some things. Well, most things, mechanical technology can make things much better.
Scanlon says Mountain Dew in the shop fridge and then your cold beer.
Mountain Dew. Okay.
Brendan says I'm running a Edelbrock air gap RPM intake on a small block Chevy.
Like that. I like air gaps. I mean, I've run Performers, air gaps, Team Gs, tunnel rams, and I gotta say, tunnel ram is my favorite. There ain't nothing that's cool as a 2.4 sitting out of hood. There ain't nothing cooler than that. And yeah. But for like street, like on Bam Lam here, she has a Performer on her, and I've got an open plenum Edelbrock on the new engine, and I'll probably go air gap sometime. But right now, you know, my heart goes along with a tunnel ram. It just, the coolness factor of that is just so good. It's so choice.
When are you going to do a diff rebuild?
A what?
A diff.
I know. It's sitting right over there. I know. But you know, the last 3 months for us have been, our hair has been on fire. There has been so much going on, you know. I know. That's what one thing you guys want me to do, and it's sitting right there. I mean, literally, it's sitting right there, within 5 foot from me, and I just have ignored it for months. I'll get to it. I promise.
That was from your son.
Yeah. Thank you, son.
The hookers are a stock manifold style with a better flow. I have limited space in my engine bay.
Yeah, yeah, that's always a consideration.
And let's see, thinking of those instead of the shorty headers.
Yeah, the shorties can be. They can. Yeah, they came out in the late '80s. You know, because the like Boyd and those guys were building hot rods. I mean, 32 Fords, things like that. And they were trying to get everything tucked inside the frame rails because those frame rails on those suckers are really narrow. All right, but the fitment was never good, and really, truly, if you cut them down that much to get them tucked in that tight, then the performance benefit of them it always seemed to be like it was not as good as like a long tube header could be. And yeah, and the way they had to make them design, they narrow them down to the collector down the center. I mean, like from that far from the flange, the getting plugs in and out is a bear. They ain't no fun. What?
Ken says, when are we gonna do the differential build?
Oh, well, when are we going to have a weekend off? Now that somebody is working at the dealership, working, a lot of hours, and there's not a lot of time,
Brandon says, I picked up a set of Summit stainless steel headers for my 72 C10, and they look and feel nice. Any advice on header gaskets?
Percy's, the dead blow aluminum header gaskets. I had and I'm pretty sure they're still around. I mean, I had a set of those on the big block racing, and I probably had those headers on and off a dozen times, and I reused those gaskets every time. The Percy was the brand. They're dead blow aluminum, and they look like an extruded piece of aluminum, but they conform, and they're made out of aluminum. It's not brass, and they really work well. Percy dead blow aluminums, highly recommend them. I believe that's the brand. Yeah, it was Percy, but I remember the dead blow aluminum, and that sold me for the collectors and for against the head. And you shouldn't ever have a problem out of them. Matter of fact, no. The one I have a Speed Pro set, but they're not dead blow aluminum. They're just anyways, they're not as good as the Percy's, but the Percy's are pricey. But one set will last you a long time.
What type of gaskets do you prefer for oil transmission pans? I still prefer cork, but no luck with rubber.
Now, have you tried the new Felpro, the blue Felpro one-piece pan gaskets? We got them on that one, and they were pretty slick. But I mean, if you do it right, cork will work. I mean, all of us old guys use cork for decades. But I put a new blue one-piece on that one, and it wasn't very expensive. I think it came with all the hardware, the gasket, everything was like $22 for the full gasket with all the pan hardware, new screws and bolts for the pan. I mean, that was and it bolts up really nice. I mean, so try that.
Yes. Oh, Ken says, when are we gonna get? When are you gonna get Royal Purple to sponsor you?
Well, can't really sponsor me until I get the shop up and we start really starting to yank and crank. I mean, I get feelers out every day. The bigger this gets, the more reach out I get from companies. That's how I got the ultrasonic cleaner. I mean, we went from getting a $10 tool to a $200 tool, and the bigger we go and the more that we do this, the bigger the opportunities are going to be. But no, I'm going to be reaching out a lot once we're up in the dry. There's no reason for me to like start shaking hands and kissing babies right now when I don't have any place to put it. So once we're in the dry and we have a workshop that have to like fill, that's when I'm gonna start working really hard online, reaching out, see if we can get some corporate sponsorship going on.
Mike Ross says, off topic, but one perk of being older, my sons no longer make tools disappear.
Hold that thought. Nope. It's not where I thought it was. Okay. I know, Kenny, you're watching. All right. But it's hard for a dad that had a son in the shop that lived off, half a world away, that every time he came home and he left, the same things seemed to end up being missing. Like a certain red-handled hammer. Okay? So it's hard for a dad to not think that if there's something missing out of his shop and he knows he didn't get rid of it, that maybe somebody else that was in the shop had something to do with it. It's just a father-son thing. Guys, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong,
Or you could just be getting older and forget where you put it.
I thank you very much for that, Okay. Lord. Did you guys hear that?
Let's see. K Garage says the blue one piece are reusables as well.
No, I'm really looking forward to firing that one off.
Ken says also ARP.
ARP, yeah. Yeah, we made a lot of good contacts. When we went to PRI last year, I've got, when you go to like a thing like that, like SEMA or PRI, they give you this book. They hand them out like candy, right? But it has every phone number, name, email address of every manufacturer out there that was there for like SEMA or like PRI. So I have the contact information of everybody in the business. So yeah, it's just a matter of making up the packet and start sending it out and see if we can get some networking done and see if we can get some really cool stuff in the shop.
John, it looks like John Gotti 69. Hey Buck, do you remember me? I worked with you. Glad to see your YouTube is working. Also, I have a leave for basic November the 14th. My name is Johnny.
Yes, I do. So you actually got in, Johnny. That's cool. I thought you were going to be a cop. What happened?
Sorry.
What?
My eyes are jumping. Let's see here. Felt Pro one piece for trans pant. Transparent, or are you talking about oil pan gasket?
Oil pan gaskets.
Okay.
Velcro blue stripe, blue rubber one piece oil pan gasket. All the way comes down the rails and over the top. Pan goes on, all one piece. No corners for it to have to like shoot a bunch of goo in.
K&K Garage says, well, what do you think about the retrofit roller cams?
Retrofit what?
Roller cams.
Roller cam? Pricey. But okay, like there's the GM Performance legitimate old style from the 80s lifters are still available. They're pricey, okay? So you're talking about like $250 for a set of flat tappet lifters, which you ain't got to worry about because they were made back then. I don't know what the stock is right now. Right now, Amazon says they're out of stock, but I got 2 sets in the closet for the next couple of builds, okay? A roller cam is going to cost you 3 or 4 times that amount to get the cam, the lifters, the right push rods. You have to change everything. You got to get a different gear on the distributor. You got to get a cam button to keep it in place. There's a whole bunch of things that's involved with a retro. But you can't argue with the performance of it and where you ain't got to spend 20 minutes running it at 3,000 RPMs when you first start up, because the minute you start up, as long as the ring seat, you're good to go. You ain't got to mess with it. And you got to worry about zinc, and you got to worry about all that stuff. Break-in oil, things like that. Well, you still have to worry about break-in oil, but not to the extent of like when you're using a flat tappet cam. But it's like buying a set of aluminum heads. It's just biting the bullet and spending that money. Oh my God, I got sticker shock. You know, I mean, I'm shocked and amazed I got that engine built, and that engine ain't built. That engine is just basically regasketed with everything new on it, you know, to see if what we can do with it for under $500. You know, it just the prices on things is just outlandish. And but that's because I refuse to buy Japanese parts. I refuse to buy, you know. Temu is stealing everything, including intakes and heads now. They make Temu aluminum heads. They're knockoffs of stuff, but I mean, man, they're ripping everybody up. Something new?
Ken says, I didn't do it. That hammer's mine.
Okay, then why is it on my pegboard over there? If it didn't come back from California when you finally got out of the Navy. And you said for years, I ain't got it, Dad.
You guys are killing me.
But that's the cool thing about me and my son can be in the shop. And I'm going to talk from the heart. That it's magic. Being able to just be elbow to elbow and turn wrenches, and while he's doing one thing, I'm doing another, and we're working together as a team. We might argue and fight, and he might not like my opinions about things, but when it comes to like getting in the shop and getting things done, there isn't a better team out there. Because I had him and my daughter in here when we were doing this when they were 8, 9, 10 years old, and it's something that I look forward to. We don't get to do it as much as we'd like to because, you know, life has a way of happening. Things happen, you know, and your weekly allotment of time is sometimes hamstringed by life, you know. But there's nothing to look forward more to than spending time wrenching on something together as a team with him. I mean, you know, it's something really prideful for a dad.
Sounds like you're getting CRS.
CRS?
Yeah, that's what Scantlin says. I don't know what that is.
CRS? All right, Mr. Scantlin, explain yourself.
And Johnny says decided to do it after.
Okay, all right, but I thought you'd already got put on the force. Have you been working as a cop? Have you been doing ride-alongs? But I know you wanted to go in the military too. you know, a year ago or a
MP?
year, huh?
Is he going to do an MP?
I don't know what he's going to go in for the military for, but I mean, he was, you know.
Six Ryan says, I'm a new subscriber. Just want to say thank you for all your content. I had to rebuild a small block, and I've always got go back to your videos and simple.
I appreciate that very, very much. And that's what this is. It's like, you know, this is the new version of going underneath the shade tree with a come along, pulling motors with guys back in the day when you're a yonker. I mean, this is just the new version of that. It's just passing on that knowledge, because once I'm gone, you know, and all my friends are gone, and it's becoming a the sad part is that these old ones have now become new again. They're so old, and the technology is not being taught anymore. Just the basic hand fixing things, mechanicalness of it, because everything's computer. You ain't got to worry. You know, you ain't got to listen for a tap it, or you just pull it up on a computer to tell you everything that's wrong. This, you have to like investigate. You have to know what you're looking for. You know, this is becoming a dying, lost art. Just the part of engine building and the mechanicalness of taking a rusted out old bucket that's dead to the world, that everybody thinks is a piece of junk, and bring it back from the dead. You know, they're just not teaching this anymore. That's why I think if, you know, the stars align and everything good, you know, having some young people come in and try to teach them this stuff it'd be good for the soul for me. That would be cool to pass that on, because it's just not being taught anymore. It's just not.
K&K Garage says, the only thing I didn't like about the retrofit roller cam is it changes and pushes push rod lengths.
Yeah, and you got to buy. It makes it where you have to buy everything to fit that setup, and which is more expense. You know, which, like, I have a bucket full of push rods, and I have rocker arms and everything. Everything will fit back on anything that I built. But if I retro, nothing's going to fit. And I'm going to have to like buy a complete kit, which is going to be big money, or more money than I want to spend just for a camshaft system. But sooner or later, if somebody doesn't come along, which, you know, I had a real long talk with Howard from Howard's Cams at PRI last year. If something doesn't happen, the manufacturing doesn't happen, that's kind of where the way we're going to have to go, because you aren't going to be able to trust flat tappet lifters, because it's not the cams, it's not the rocker arms, it's not the push rods, it's the lifters themselves that are failing, because they're not produced like they used to be produced. The quality is just not there like they used to be. They're not hardened like they used to be. That's, again, problem. Everything being made in China, they make it as cheap as possible, which means the hardening process isn't being done, and that's what's eating and destroying engines right now.
Just found your channel, Unc. Love it. I really enjoy your way, the way you teach. Magical, my brother. God bless you, sir.
Appreciate that very much, sir.
Mike says, best memories ever for me was wrenching with my dad on a 55 Chevy and a 66 Nova.
Yeah. When I was younger, in my 30s, to finance the drag racing, we used to take old Camaros and Firebirds and pull them out of the weeds, and we'd take them apart and sell them off piece by piece on eBay. And that's where the kids got their start. Well, boys are boys. My son was taking stuff apart when he was 2 years old. Getting it back together again, that was a different story. But his sons are going to do the same thing. But even my daughter would you give her a impact, you know, or a air ratchet, and you say, here, take this apart. She be in there. You see her little legs hanging upside down in the engine compartment. The only thing I couldn't get her to do, and she'll testify to this today, she hated old moldy carpet. She is either me or Kenny that would have to pull that out for her. But after that, you know, she'd take one completely apart stem to stem. But she just had this thing about old, musty carpet. She wouldn't touch it, you know, but she can change her own flats. You know, she can gap plug. She knows the mechanicalness of it. She misses that. You know what her favorite part was of all of it? Is that when she used to ride with me in the car up to the lanes going drag racing. She would work all week long just to get to spend that little 5-minute time with me. That's what she remembers about the drag races, was that getting in the car and riding up to the lanes for the next run with me. That was worth every bit of it. I mean, that's what it's all about. It ain't about making money, which making money is great. It ain't about fame, which fame could be great. I don't want to get famous. But, you know, it's about that connection with the people that you love, especially your kids. That's what it's all about. You know, the friends that I have that I helped when we were teenagers doing all this stuff, I am still friends with today. They're on here right now, and you guys know who you are. You know, they're watching right now as we speak. You know, and that kind of friendship, that doesn't get created without spending time together. And that's what this is all about. It's about spending time.
Sleeping Tonight says, hello from Las Vegas. SBC and BBC for life. No crap for me. Old school life. No LS will ever sound the same.
No, that's even my friends that are like tried and true LS guys, and they, you know, and then whenever they do some trading around, they end up with a big block in for a short period of time. They're just nothing else. It's a completely different thing. They don't sound right. LSs don't now. I can't complain about the engines. The design is great, but they just don't sound the same as an old school big block. They don't, or even a small block. They just. I think it's the cam swap. I mean the timing swap. You know, everything. It just sounds completely different, and you can't make them sound like a big block. What?
Oh, so K and K Garage says, I'm also a new subscriber. First time video I've seen was the intake video you recently did. I definitely want to go with the tunnel ram, LOL. His word says, thoughts on flat tapped 218, duration 450 lift, 106 LSA in a Vortex, 354 barrel. Dual plane, high rise in a 6,000 pound Tahoe, 4L60, daily driver, 3.73 gears, and a 2200 stall.
I wouldn't go with stall. No, the duration cam you're talking, that's that minus 5,500 lift, which is a 268 duration cam, which is going to run all your accessories, run your brakes, run everything. There's no reason to run a stall in it unless you're going to the strip. Run a stock torque converter with it, because it's going to slip with the 373 gears. It's going to slip on the highway, unless you do the lockups set up through the harness with the 4L80 or L60, whichever it was. If you don't hit the lockup, it's gonna create heat in the transmission. It's gonna slip while you're going down the highway. So I would say go stick with the stock for that transmission torque converter. Everything else sounds great. Just stick with don't put a stall in it, because stalls kill line pressure. They're great for flashing, but they're terrible for daily driving and going around playing. You will not like it with a stall. That big of an engine, you don't need it. Stick with the stock one.
David says, talk about old school. Ronnie Ball and I used to use a wooden baseball bat to install a cam bearing in his 350 Olds engine in the mid 80s.
Yeah, we did a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, but I mean, that's how you learned. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like, I've never been one to learn from a book. I can read about something 10,000 times, but until I get my hands on it and start working with it, then it clicks. And then I can remember what I read about. To just read, turn this, do that, and just see blank pages. It never worked for me. That's why Votech was so good for me. Getting hands-on and helping out and learning that way. But once I've done it, then I can understand the progression through a book. But just to, no. that there's nothing that beats hands-on experience. And doing crazy shit like using a baseball bat to put cam bearings in. Yeah. I mean, we've done all kinds of crazy stuff, but we had a good time doing it, and we're still friends with Ronnie Ball now.
Let's see. John says, I didn't want to miss the opportunity to serve, and my job has to keep a spot for me, so decided to go ahead and do it while I have a chance. I'm going to Fort Benning for 11B. I think that's what it says.
Thank you for your service. I mean, my father was a Marine. I mean, I got family. My son was in the Navy. I mean, I just couldn't get myself away from the dinner plate long enough to make weight, or I probably went back in. I scored so high on the ASVAB test, they were after me till I was 27 years old for my problem-solving abilities. So, I mean, yeah, military is a great. If you know what you want to get out of it and go towards that goal, then it can be a great thing.
What oil do you use? Do you suggest to run with a flat tap pit cam? I'm guessing I'm going to go get it.
Yep. Me and old Vice Grip Garage, we do the same thing. I got quarts of this. Rotella, Shell, T4. When it comes to the older stuff, it's got, it's got all the little extras in it. It's diesel oil, but it's got the extras in it for like a flat tap of cam. And that's what I run in this. Anything with a flat tap, it's going to have T4 in it. Once I get it broke in, maybe T5 because it's more synthetic. But right now, T4 is what I run.
Let's see here.
And it's cheap. Most of the times, it's cheap at Walmart. And check Lowe's and Home Depot because sometimes they have it on the shelf and they have it for like really cheap. So that's why I have jugs of it, because I come across a deal months ago and I bought several because they were really cheap.
Well, it says, good channel, very informative. Thomas says, Uncle Buck, you're still getting around for 70 years old.
Got a long way to go till I'm 70.
Mm-hmm. Not
13 years.
Not that long.
Shut up.
Let's see here. The truck came with a 2200 stall. It has locked up. Cruises pretty cool on the highway.
Does it have the option on that thing to check your transmission temperature when you're going on the highway? That's the only big thing about transmission fluid. It doesn't like a lot of temperature. Regular cruising around, it'll last for a long time. But I mean, temperature is your killer when it comes to your transmission. If it was me, I'm just saying what I would do. I would put a stock one in it, and enable through the wiring harness for the L60 for the lockup on it as you're cruising. That'll help out a bunch.
What year did Chevy start coming out with the 350 roller cam engine?
Like 86, 87, I believe. They were in Corvettes and Camaros and Firebirds. 86 or 87, maybe 88. But then once the LS hit, it was all roller after that. So, I mean, you're talking about, mid 50s all the way into the mid 80s. So you're talking about 30 years of flat tap it. There's a lot of them out there.
His word says, I'll stick that cam in something lighter. Mike Roberts says, heck, I have used a broom handle as a clutch alignment tool.
Yeah. I mean, we all did some crazy stuff. I mean, you had to make do with what you had. Because back in my day, I didn't have any money. None. I mean, I was working paycheck to paycheck, and I had a job that worked Wednesday to Sunday, and if I had to do something on my car, I had to stop at 4 o'clock on Sunday, and I had to have it running on 8 o'clock on Wednesday, 8 a.m. So I had a window of opportunity. So you learned real quick how to do things as fast and clean as possible for as cheap as possible, because none of us had any money when we were growing up. We were all broke.
K&K Garage, just out of curiosity, what state are you in?
Oklahoma. I'm in Oklahoma. We live right on I-40 in Oklahoma, right next to Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Let's see here. What do you feel is the best sound cam in a big block, in your opinion?
Best sounding cam? Well, now the new ones they come out with them thumpers. Comp came out with them thumper cams, and they're designed specifically just for sound, not for performance, just for make it. But the best sounding cam I had was a Lenati 292 duration cam, and it was the reason I used to go to Lenati a lot. I don't even know if they're around anymore. I think they got bought up by Edelbrock and all them, but because you didn't have to degree them. They were designed specifically putting straight up. Just line up and you were done. You didn't have to do any degreeing. And back in our day, we didn't know how to degree anything, and so that was a selling point for me. And that cam, that 292 duration on both intake and exhaust, that cam thumped. I mean, it really sounded awesome. But I haven't tried any of the thumper cams, but those cams are made just for the sound. I mean, they're not really a performance cam. They're not designed to like make you horsepower. They're designed to sound a certain way.
Sleep Last Night says, I remember gapping points in my 70 Mustang in front of a grocery store, and one guy mentioned to me and my friend to use a dime. LOL. We used to tune the car in a local car wash bay, revving the pipes.
How about a paper matchstick? From a paper, using a matchstick. I've done that. I did that on the old Ford, the F100.
CRS means can't remember shit.
Oh, well, yeah. The older you get, the more that happens.
Yeah, it does.
I am feeling the love tonight. Somebody is on tonight. Somebody's all full of them one-liners tonight.
Sleepless Night says, we got kicked out of the car wash owner and said this ain't no mechanic shop. We peeled out and took off with a nice burnout.
I'll tell you a story, and all my friends will know about this. And every small town had this. There was one spot where everybody's parked through the 70s and all the way to like the late 80s. There was always some gathering place, and we never had any problems. We did a lot of girl chasing, a lot of beer drinking, a lot of drag racing, but we never did it in that parking lot. And those are the memories that I miss the most. I mean, we all kind of worked the same hours, and we go home, we take showers, we'd have some food, and then by 7 o'clock we were in town. And we were in town till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and we would get up the next morning and go be at work at 8 a.m. the next morning. And we did that night after night after night after night. It's one of the most special times in my life. We had so much fun, and we never caused any trouble. There was never any problems. And talked to the police that were on the job now, and they knew what we were doing. But we never left a mess, and we never caused any trouble. We never destroyed anything. Didn't break any windows. Didn't leave any trash. And they were like, well, until they start messing up, we were going to leave them alone because they ain't really hurting nobody. They just need something to do. Better than, doing dumb stuff. Yeah. But that's not the way kids are these days. It seems like they can't get in an area without leaving trash and breaking things and doing dumb stuff. And, go back to the old days. Be respectful of the surroundings and be kind and polite and happy and don't be a bunch of jerks.
His word says there's something about the Van Halen "Hot for Teacher" idol.
Yep, yep. That's what I was thinking of whenever I was doing it. Yeah. Yep.
Mike says, ever have that song start just as you start the car back in the day and made you think of something was broke?
No. But I to this day, even in my late 50s, if I hear a sound on the radio that really gets my juices flowing, I find myself driving really fast. I mean, I do. It's like that song comes on and the pedal starts going down, and you start remembering them good old days.
Kids need to get in the garage and learn.
Yeah, kids need to get in the garage. Well, I mean, today's age with the new stuff, they learn nothing. They're just going on a computer and messing with a program. They're not using their hands. They're using their fingertips. It's different. It's not the same thing. It's just not the same thing. I think a lot of them could learn from doing some hands-on mechanicalness that would help them with their tuning. You know, just my opinion. Well, is that it? It's been a long day, and we got a long day ahead of us tomorrow. Just remember, smash that like button. Think about supporting the channel. Check out a t-shirt, hat, something. Send a gift. That'd be cool. Y'all have a great day. Because great day today could be what? A better day tomorrow. She still ain't doing it. I'm trying to get her to do it, but she still ain't doing it. But we're going to see you guys next Thursday. You guys have a great week. Bye.
Oh, Ken says, why don't we do it old school versus new school live?
What do you guys think about that? Old school versus new school live. What? I'll bring Kenny. Don't mind getting in front of the camera. We can do this. You know, I'm up for that. You know, but I can guarantee all my old farts out there, all you guys, all my brothers out there, gonna give them a hard time when it comes to that old school compete. You know, because now he's working for a dealership on the new stuff. He's learning all kinds of new stuff. Okay, which there's nothing wrong with the new stuff. It's just it's not my bag of tea. It's just not. But you guys tell me, what do you think?
That would be cool. Old school has more soul.
Yeah, well, yeah. Old body with a young soul, however they say it.
Yeah.
All right, but could be in the future. But you guys have a great night. You know, I'm getting in the shower and we're done.